According to Locke, natural resources do not have any value until an individual exerts his labor on it. Locke suggests that 99% of the value is created when labor is mixed with a naturally existing substance to create an object. However, this is not plausible when labor is mixed with naturally existing substance that does not result in transformation of the substance. What am I talking about? For example, a person called W.R. Grace claimed a patent on neem extract. All that Grace did was to identify exactly which chemical component in the neem plant had the insecticide property and extracted that component and claimed patent over it. Here the labor is mixed with what already existed in nature. Further, Hettinger criticizes labor theory because it fails to take into account value added to a production by contributions made by others in the evolution of that product. For instance, although multiple people might have contributed to the evolution of a technology, labor theory may account for only the value added by the most recent contributor. For instance, steam engine was not invented by James Watt alone, but he was definitely involved in improving the technology. However, prior to Watt's invention, there were many others who contributed in the evolution of steam engine, but unfortunately it was only Watt who was able to get the full market value for improvements in the steam engine. So with that, we come to the conclusion of Locke's labor theory. Now let us quickly move over to Hegel's personality theory. The personality theory has been used to justify intellectual property rights, although the person who came up with the personality theory never necessarily kind of used it to justify intellectual property right. According to the personality theory, any work or invention would belong to its author or inventor because it is the manifestation of the creator or inventor's personality. The person who espoused this theory is George Wilhelm Friedrich Hegel. In his book Elements of Philosophy of Right, states that the individual's will should be given more importance compared to other elements that make up an individual. He identifies the personality as the will's struggle to actualize itself. According to Hegel, personality is a reflection of an individual's will. Hegel basically gives prominence to the will compared to external property, which is a manifestation of the will. Property, according to him, becomes an expression of the will. According to Hegel, society accepts the external manifestation of an individual's personality as property. Thus, when an individual expresses himself through his work, it is nothing but an external manifestation of his personality. Property rights are vested in the external object purely because it is the resultant manifestation of the individual's will. Labor is the means by which the will occupies the object. Hegel believes that this external manifestation, which is seen as property, cannot be alienated at any point in time as it is a reflection of the self. Hegel's personality theory can be used to justify claims by authors, musicians, artists, sculptors, photographers in their work. An author's personality is manifested through his or her work. Books written by authors are external objects through which their inner personality, that is, their feelings, emotions, experiences and imagination is manifested. For instance, the Harry Potter series is an external manifestation of J.K. Rowling's personality. The book itself is an expression of the will and part of the personality, and as such justifies right to property. Similarly, an innovative technology is a manifestation of the inventor's will and as such merits a property right. But Hegel's personality theory is not without criticism. The problem in applying personality justification to intellectual property would be in identifying whether there is a personality stake in the particular object, which is the external manifestation of the will. Further, Hegel's proposition that works are external manifestation of personality also poses problem within the realm of intellectual property rights. A person who writes either handwritten or typed a book by copiously copying the works of others, or a painter who imitates another painter's work, would have done so by manifestly expressing his personality regardless of the fact that he is borrowing from someone else. The writer or painter, in copying or imitating, has used his skills and abilities and expressed his will, and as such would have a property right in it. This would be counterproductive to an intellectual property regime, as it does not recognize the imitator as a property right holder. Now, with that, we actually kind of conclude all the three theories that we are talking or discussing about, right? So, to recap, we initially discussed John Stuart Mill's utilitarian theory, which talks about maximum good or the maximum number of people. Intellectual property rights actually kind of does maximum good to the maximum number of people because it provides an incentive, right? Further, the Locke's labor theory is entirely based on the fact that a human being mixes his labor with something else, and as such there is a property right in it. So, an inventor who comes up with an innovation has mixed his labor with something else, and as such deserves property right. And Hegel's personality theory is nothing but an external manifestation of an individual's personality. Thank you.